Hey, I had an interesting weekend. Okay, so for those who didn't see Saturday's now deleted video, there was an ad read in there for a certain online therapy service that rhymes with setter kelp. 100% on me for not looking into the history of that company, hence the video now being deleted. That's what I get for just assuming a mental health service wouldn't be run by actual literal Satan. But rather than doing the cringe YouTuber apology, here's what we're gonna do instead. In the description of this video is a handy tool for finding a therapist in your area should you be looking for such a thing. You just search your location, you can filter by insurance, you can filter by specialty, you can get all the info on them that you need, and I personally sympathize with the struggle of finding a good therapist, hence my willingness to take something like setter kelp at face value. So if you're looking for someone professional to talk to, I encourage you to use this tool instead. The link is in the description. Are we cool? Are we cool? Are we good? Okay, let's talk about Concord 2. A while back, I made a comment on a video. I forget which video, but I mentioned how I don't see Marathon as being a big Sony, revenue generator, traffic generator. I'm not seeing the hype for this game that Sony and Bungie seem to see in it themselves. And I thought maybe that's just because I've been out of the Bungie ecosystem for a while. I grew up on Halo. I love Halo. I never really got into Destiny, but I know a lot of people really, really love Destiny, or at least they did. Can we get a big yikes in chat for these Steam charts? But I always had the feeling in the back of my mind of okay, I'm probably just out of the loop on this. There probably is going to be a lot of hype for Marathon. We make jokes about how, Bungie is cooked, everything Bungie does is cooked, and Bungie is dead. But, when the game comes out, I'm sure it's gonna be impressive. I'm sure it's gonna get a whole bunch of traction. And then the other day, Bungie did their big gameplay reveal of Marathon, and, it's not going great for them. Now, I'll say this. Marathon looks more interesting than Concord. However, I think everything that was stacked against Concord is actually stacked even harder against Marathon. I don't see how this game is possibly going to be a success. And I could be wrong. I could be out of the loop. But when you look at the details surrounding this game, when you look at the elements that contributed to Concord's failure, basically every single element of Concord's failure can be applied to Marathon even heavier. I don't see how this one's going to work. Marathon is I guess it's an extraction shooter. I think it's some new take on the extraction genre, so it's an already late jump on this bandwagon that it seems like the industry thought was going to be a lot bigger than it actually got. Because that was something very interesting about the extraction shooter craze. It seemed like Escape from Tarkov really blew up, and then people saw Escape from Tarkov blowing up, and it seems like a bunch of developers were like, oh my god, there's this new popular big map PC-centric shooter genre. It's going to be the next BR, and it just kind of wasn't. That's not to say there's anything wrong with extraction shooters, that they're not popular, but it seems like there was a really, really big push from the AAA industry to get onto the extraction shooter craze, and it just never really materialized. We saw that in Call of Duty. If Call of Duty is rushing out a competitor, then you know that there was a big AAA push for it. I heard DMZ was actually pretty fun. Not that I would know. I never tried it. I really did my best to get into Tarkov, and I just couldn't get into the gameplay loop. So maybe it's just extraction shooters are just not my thing. And I think that's the big issue here. Extraction shooters are a niche genre. They are a much more niche genre than battle royales. And you could say that battle royales were niche at one point too. But battle royales were never as hardcore or as intense as extraction shooters are. Even though the early battle royale games were very hardcore. The early battle royale games were stuff like Arma and H1 and PUBG. These are not easy games to get the hang of, but they are easy games to understand, and they are games that you can have fun with on your own for 20 minutes at a time. Extraction shooters are just inherently more hardcore than that. That's a number one reason why this could be a problem. It's not that you're jumping on a bandwagon that's really easy to jump on or really easy for people to understand. You're jumping on a bandwagon that really wasn't even that much of a bandwagon, and part of the reason why it wasn't a bandwagon is because it inherently does not appeal to the casual audience. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not to sound like Seinfeld, but not that there's anything wrong with that. But when you spend years and years and years of development and millions, tens of millions, probably well over $100 million on development at this point, And then this is what you come up with: a bland corporate imitation of a bandwagon that wasn't a bandwagon, and you're still going to be charging people for it and have battle passes. Guys, did we truly learn nothing from Concord? I cannot figure out what the play here is. That price model is going to be a huge problem here. Like, it's just not 2016 anymore. You can't charge a premium price for a multiplayer only game. And you know who knows this? Bungie. Destiny has been free for years, because the price tag was a block to entry. There weren't enough people giving it a second chance after a bad first impression. There weren't enough people willing to give it the benefit of the doubt if it costed money, so they made it free to play. Bungie, you've done this already. Why are we going backwards? I'm also really not digging the idea that Bungie seems to have here of like casualizing an inherently social and hardcore genre, because they also said this recently, how they're not having prox chat because it's just too toxic. My boy, do you know what genre your game is in? It's an extraction shooter. It is competitive. It is sweaty. It is going to be inherently a social experience. What are you doing? It's so hard to shake the feeling that Bungie has a fundamental misunderstanding of what game they're making here. Also, what the fuck does this game have to do with Marathon? I know not a lot of people are saying that because hardly anyone actually knows what Marathon was before it was this, but this is what Marathon was before. Can someone explain to me what the fuck this new game has to do with Marathon? Why is it called Marathon? You can't even pull the oh, it's Marathon for brand recognition. They want to get the extra hype of being a Marathon reboot. No one fucking knows what Marathon is anymore. Why'd you call this game Marathon if it has nothing to do with Marathon? What was the purpose of this? Just call it Super Hot Extraction Bonanza, because that's what it looks like to me. Super Hot Valorant Legends Bonanza from Tarkov. Turbo Arcade Edition. And I see some people saying that Bungie's name is going to carry this, and I just don't think that's true. I think Bungie's name will carry it a little bit, but not nearly to the degree that it's going to need. You know, Bungie isn't Rockstar. Bungie isn't FromSoft. People aren't going to go buy the game just because Bungie's name is on it. And even still, people rush out to buy Rockstar and FromSoft games because they know what they're getting with Rockstar and FromSoft games. When you look at Marathon, what are you getting here that you don't already have somewhere else? What part of Bungie's identity, Bungie's core identity, where is it here? I don't see it. This looks like the most corporate AI designed game of all time. And not only does it look corporate and boring and AI designed, but it's also part of a genre that is not going to be easy to market to people. You're going to be selling it for a price tag despite being multiplayer only, which people are just fucking over that. People are so over having to pay money for something that is inherently going to be changing and could be taken away from them at any time. And also, you want to know my evidence for why Bungie's name isn't going to carry this? Because the Sony PlayStation name was not enough to sell Concord. The Sony PlayStation name is much bigger than the Bungie name these days. Or if you want to be really generous, they're like the same level of hype creators, a Bungie game and a new first-party PlayStation game. Concord being a first-party PlayStation game couldn't save it. What makes you think this is any different? Concord failed because it was a big price tag on a game that looked completely boring and did not offer anything unique and had a whole bunch of free-to-play alternatives. Explain to me how Marathon is any different. What, because there's no other free-to-play extraction? There's no other free-to-play extraction shooters. Yeah, and what makes you think that people who care about extraction shooters are going to come to this over something like Tarkov? All the extraction shooter players already have a game. And unless you genuinely think Marathon is going to have the stones to stand up to something like Tarkov, which it's just, if you look at the gameplay and you know that's not true, like, who is this game for? Who is it for, and how is it going to make all this money back? I'm also curious what this means for Destiny. Like, is Destiny support going to end soon? Are they expecting the Destiny players to move over to Marathon? Because I don't think that's going to happen. And if you end support or slow down support of Destiny in favor of Marathon, that's not going to end well. Destiny's already not in a fantastic place, and it's your only other moneymaker right now. If you start slowing down support for the game that's basically funding all of your endeavors in favor of this game that the people who supported your previous endeavors don't want to play, what kind of message is that going to be sending to your core audience, Bungie? I don't understand who this game is for. I don't understand how this is supposed to be a profitable game, and I super don't understand how Sony decided to keep this in the works, and they decided to keep Concord in the works. They had this big live service game push, bunch of live service games in development, and they canceled a whole bunch of them. How is this one that made it through? How was the Spider-Man game canceled over this? How was Factions canceled over this? How was Twisted Metal canceled over this? That's the thing that keeps like twisting my brain into fucking spaghetti. I appreciate that Sony is seemingly backing off of their obsession with live service games, but who is calling the shots of what gets canceled and what doesn't? Because that makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know who this game is for. Maybe someone can fucking enlighten me of who this game is for. I don't understand. And like, I'm not saying you can't think this game looks cool. I'm not saying you can't be excited for this game. But in the context of Sony, of big budget game, of big budget needing big lots of money to succeed, and we canceled a whole bunch of live service games, and we've been not putting out like any single player first party games because we gotta really stick to our guns and make sure the big fucking good stuff is being published, man. We gotta be real good with our quality control. Also, here's this. My God. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Doofus Club time. Sense Nakage and On for Law hates Maddie Master Killer Joe from Seattle has Big Peen. The Return of the King Gorindai no pun poopy punon pun K. Partial Mean 8 Wild Gamer 2001 JJ Dusty Soulmate Defent Behind a Blockbuster Mole Theme Binary Deviant Voxalta Cloaked Onyx and Omega JJ Dusty Hail Denuvo Pod Pub Cod Stop It. Can you tell this is the first video I've recorded in a few days? Codman 4372WX The Gamer 127YT Joe, have you tried Crab Champions? Father Joe, when will you be joining voice chat? Stella Rod, Gold Pyrex, Zombie Fan, Alderoth 01, Penguin Piss, Ultimate Jack, Doug Nigsy. I don't know why Penguin Piss always makes me laugh. I'm a simple man. I am a sentimental man. I made another Wicked reference. It's the second Wicked reference I've made this year, I think. I could be wrong about that. Where was I? Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Edge Knight 1789, Raptor 1, It's Gamer Word, not Gamer World, get it right, Joey Sad, Your Freighter, MK2396E, I'm still in the moat, Joe, please get help, Hentai, X Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Epion 504, Klepto Penguin, Banshee, GWXSS, Doom Kaiju, Rast the Wolf, Evan Co, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Laser Gaming with Dead People, Vendor Fondue, All Games Video, Big Thing I Can't Read, Max Killer V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, PS5 has Infinite Bacon, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepard, Ricky Sparrow, Ricky Tiki Tabby, Muskie, watched Tangled for the first time since I was a kid. It's good. Crew Me the Steel Angel, bought 10 subs, now I can't afford to Switch 2. Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderholm, Cyrus failed the homework, admonished me Joe, forgot to change my name, now I can't afford to fix it. True Tech Skin 940, Joe, improv the name, okay, use that creative, Brian, fuck, dude, you can't throw that at me and expect me to just know what that is. Starship Enterprise 600. That's the best I got. Starship Enterprise 600. I don't even like Star Trek. Kanoka's #1 Saudi fan. Creed Warrior 23 Max Chef. Herman's her Nintendo Defense Force Reaction Fit when shit. Totally Insane Vendetta. Audrey Black Cobra. Night of Cypher Reborn. Me with the fan art. ML04 and 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray. What the fan art. Switch 2 is more of a scam than the PS5 Pro. Wolf of Midnight. Steak Rider. Pig Venus. Kev Dog 1992. Steve Point Studios. Film Cracking the Beast. Own Gaming. Tariq Brown. Thomas Wilkin. Who are Culture Thorn Skate. Mac and X. Everett Evans. Mr. Spine 3. The Kylinder Figure Y Mix. Pow Pow. Trouble Donnie Weston. Nick Dongan. Gosson. Rogue Winter 919. Bobby Hinter. Grimsy. Sengoku Rants, Hangman for Hire, Eldon the Noble, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Jobs, by Genesis, Ian Action, Floppy Pingus 97, Mega Key, Kushka, the Script Skull, Ghost Toe, remember to tell Nintendo, lower your prices, the JoJo 6, Fast Grow, Femtango, Raptor Tim, and the amazing Blight Man, Blue Hook, Willie JJ, Schnorl Accent, I'm High as a Kite as I wrote this. Jody Breeze, Smitty, or Smitty, fucking fuck you, Smitty, god damn it, you fuck, I had so many videos in a row where you didn't fuck my name, my mouth, and now you fucked my mouth again. Max Laurel, Massimo, Make Advertisements, Diego Garcia, my femboy roommate is my favorite game, JJ Dusty, 8 My Kibikins, I'm American Idiot, Rebel Rebel Blood 80. Omako Taco Oracle, I ordered pizza from Papa John's. Papa John's, better pizza ingredients that are fine. Oh no, it's Justin, Ran, Roy, 20 Wayne, Bloodline, Extreme the Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, my name is Mud, Joe Taco, Joe licked my feet, now I can't, he won't call me back. Ting Ting, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Remastered, Wannabe Hobo, Jij, West Bill 310, Char, Rob C, I am Veg, the Groovy Banana Curtain, Alan Spack, the Scrum Master. Your next line is, I need to poop. Okay, Toodles, I actually really do need to poop. It's bad. I gotta poop right now. Okay, Toodles.